Hello and welcome to the final 9 of the 2025 MVPs Open at Austin, presented by Flight Factory. We made it on this third event of the year, our first 4-day event. What a time to be alive. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hot geese.
Honk. And we are watching a very tight battle. Kristin Lätt pushing Holyn Handley, making some mistakes, going from a 6-stroke lead to only 3 strokes separating with 9 holes to play, each one birdieable or double bogeyable.
Yeah, and we do have a little wind picking up as the day goes on, so that is going to come into play. Every single hole can cause a 2 or 3 stroke swing. That's what's crazy out here at Harvey Penick. And Kristin really seems to have some momentum going into the back 9. Let's start out with this very birdieable par 3. It's an island hole. It looks very easy on this flyover video, but this island can be tough to stick if there's any amount of wind. You can see how close that out of bounds line, out of
bounds is what you're looking for.
Out of bounds lawn. You can see how close it is behind the basket. You can easily forehand flare skip, and I think that's what we're going to see most of the competitors on our card use.
Although I like this Holyn able to go zone, so maybe kind of minimizing the amount of skips that can happen, and actually just gonna base it.
And look how hyped she is too.
Pumped.
Slow-mo celebration.
Yeah, this is big with the battle being as tight as it is right now.
I mean,
Perfect. I want to follow Flight on the fist bump she just did.
She had to really get herself hyped up running up the hill to this tee pad, and whatever she did, it worked. Let's see if Kristin can respond. She knows she's within striking distance.
Trusty heart put a little high, but
wow,
so good.
That's such a cool shot.
Yeah.
Out of her hand, I was like, uh-oh.
Right, because it's not, you'd think it's going to fade more, but she's been throwing it for so long that it goes so straight for a really long time.
Catrina opting for the backhand line. There's more room over there now that they've trimmed those tree branches, but Catrina doesn't even mess with that. A really nice straight shot. She'll be inside the circle putting for birdie as well.
Gorgeous backhand shot. Valerie really looking for some green. Both Valerie and Catrina sliding back the leaderboard. Owen Scoggins shooting 4 down right now to be in solo 3rd place.
Valerie gonna just rip over the top of it a little
Get
too
in.
much. But does she trickle in?
She was due for a good break, finally.
That's the first one that's gone her way today.
Straight up, they've all been horrible breaks. Come on, Valerie, cash this. She's been so close all day long. Dang it.
Oh, it's just one of those days for Valerie. Stinks that it's going to be on camera.
Kristin not able to convert. Gonna lose another stroke to Holyn.
Catrina just a little bit of a misfire there, but an aggressive misfire. And Holyn, no worries. Another birdie on the scorecard and another stroke separated from Kristin Lätt. Holyn, one of 3 players to park this hole. Shout out to Ella Hansen and Hinna Blomroos.
Checking back in, Silva Saarinen ahead on the 12th. She is coming off a turkey here, and yesterday we saw her on lead card fade too far to the left and not convert the birdie. Today parks it.
Owen and Silva both showing the field what they're made of. Owen really trusting this disc on a flex line, getting all the ground play you need.
Owen is made of flex.
Yes, she is.
Wow. Great round for Owen. Hanging on to that podium spot. Silva with 4 in a row. Just a regular old red shoulder hawk right now.
Still so exciting.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, ever. 4 in a row. Deanne Carey, 6 down, matching Sophia Dunica's hot round. Sophia in the clubhouse, Deanne through, it looked like 13. Hole 11 is a par 5. I really like this hole, 910 feet. Can be difficult in the wind because of this narrow kind of landing zone that's sloping right to left. It's often a tailwind or right to left crosswind pushing you out of bounds. Second shot, you want to get aggressive and land left of where we just went, kind of short of the green and the bunker. And third shot, you're usually challenging that OB golf green and coming into the green looking for a birdie putt. There is out of bounds everywhere. It can stack if you're not careful. A forehand off the tee is such a weapon to combat the out of bounds and the way it's sloped. Oh, misfire though.
Yeah, really big early release from Holyn. Never has a chance of staying in bounds. She's laughing about it though.
Yeah, she needed to hang that another 30 degrees to the left. Kristin went backhand yesterday, yeah?
I think so. I think there is an opposite wind as well today. It looks fairly calm though compared to yesterday.
Yeah, it does. That looks nice.
She makes sure to keep this disc in bounds, doesn't throw it maybe as far as she did yesterday.
Yeah, nice controlled shot. Catrina gonna show us the backhand route. Needs to hang it towards the OB line on the right because once you land, you get a huge flare skip. That's heading straight OB.
Yeah, that right to left wind is not going to help this one.
Valerie pushing that right side like you need. It just needs to not skip too much.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Really working the entire width of the fairway.
I feel like that's what you have to do on the backhand.
Catrina just trying to get up to the corner. This thing went pretty early out of bounds though, so this is quite a pump.
To get to the biggest part of the landing zone. Which she does.
Yeah.
Pump achieved.
Yeah, what a huge, nice straight pushing shot from Catrina.
Yeah, the tough thing if you're short on this second shot, that narrow part of the fairway can become your landing zone.
Solid. Oh, okay, I see.
Come back in.
What a risky shot from Holyn Handley.
Yeah.
That carried a lot of out of bounds.
And that.
Oh, man. My depth perception did not read that right. I thought she was deep.
Oh, really? I thought she made it easily, so both of us not great.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a tricky hole in that way, though.
Yeah, the angle of this shot is so particular. And there's not much room for ground play. Whoa, look at all
the
of
wind.
Yeah, random gust comes through, really takes advantage of Kristin's disc, and look at those flags flying as well.
Looks like a tailwind at this moment.
Yeah, tail right to left, I think.
Kristin gonna try to go across on her fourth. She is close enough to save the par.
This is a very tricky shot as well, especially with the right to left wind, because you do have to hyzer it in that right side. You have to get around that big tree though, and the wind can easily push into those low branches and it drops you down in circle 2. Oh, that one does filter through nicely.
Yeah, you kind of have to challenge that right side OB on the green to avoid the tree branches. Valerie also throwing 4, and I like the width here. It just needs to fade. Gorgeous.
Just in the nick of time. And she's got a nice tailwind putt on this elevated basket. Look at that flag.
Yeah.
There were a few fronts moving through today, so that explains the gusty wind. Holyn trusting this disc. Oh man, it does not find enough edge to get back in bounds.
Catrina also throwing 4, more of a pure hyzer angle. And that's well done.
This wind not quite doing as much as these competitors are giving it credit for. Everyone a little bit on the right side of the green.
Holyn going to be putting for bogey. Is she at around circle's edge? No, 20.
I think so. No, I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just inside. Scary on this elevated basket.
Yeah, pressure-filled putt with Kristin there for par. Trying to only lose 1 stroke, not 2. Yeah, she did it. Great putt.
Putting just looks so mechanical this year.
And a nice par save from Catrina.
Catrina looking already back in pretty top-notch form after that long break.
Yeah, definitely pretty amazing to watch.
Mom powers.
Oof. Kristin left-sided in.
Hole 11 played as a much more difficult hole yesterday than today. It's middle of the pack today. There were 10 birdies in the FPO field. Our lead card, though, not able to capitalize on this one.
Checking back in, Silva Saarinen battling Owen Scoggins for the third place position right now. Let's see if she can get 5 in a row on a fairly simple birdie. There is still danger that tree there can knock him down out of bounds.
Oh
She absolutely parks it.
That was like an ace run.
Yeah. Looks like, yeah, she doesn't like it challenged the tree a little more than you would like, but it looks like we're going to be able to put a golden sombrero on that red shoulder talk.
Harvey, Penick full of festive hawks.
Yeah. Delightful.
Delightful. Now our lead card moving to a very gettable and almost feels like a must-get birdie on hole 12.
Though it looks like it might be kind of a tough headwind.
Here it is. It used to be a double mando, but we lost the left mando tree. Now it's just a single mando with that out of bounds line all the way down the right side. No OB to worry about on the left. Just got to make sure you give your hyzer enough room to come back. You also will see slower speed discs on a little baby flex or just a dead straight shot. Don't go early left. That is the main place to avoid. And of course, that out of bounds line. Oh yeah, it is a headwind.
Mm-hmm. Nice, powerful, low shot from Kristin with her Grand Glory. That looks amazing. And back to a 3-stroke game. Listen to that wind.
Catrina so good at hyzer flipping. This comes into the green with nice speed. It will trickle all the way to circle's edge, but really nice angle management in the headwind.
Valerie hanging it out to the right, which is usually a good play.
Come
Today, the
on.
wind. Okay.
I love how the gallery goes all hands up.
Yeah. Course might not be on Valerie's side, but the gallery sure is.
Yeah. Maybe the course is coming around.
And Holyn, pressure-filled shot with Kristin inside the circle, and she rises to the occasion.
Love was that a slow speed disc?
Yeah, it's that Z-Swirl Nebula that she's been throwing all day.
That was perfect. Nebula is...
I'm not sure. She threw it on 1 and 3, so under 300-foot shots or right around there. It seems to be her bread and butter.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a faster mid, slower fairway.
Such a good guess. Probably right. Catrina, long look, comes up a bit short.
Valerie also on the cage again. Just can't quite get warmed up on the green today. Kristin knows she needs this one with Holyn so close.
Dang. High. Hits the flagstick. Holyn gonna push it back to 4 strokes. Really clutch moment.
This was the second easiest hole of the day. Only a couple more holes that average under par as we move into the final stretch of the final round of the Open at Austin.
But a nice battle here. I feel like they're playing a little game of chess. You know, one lands close, the other lands a little closer.
Oop, you have to putt first this time.
Success is not linear. It takes time and it takes belief. A belief that there is no ceiling and that the bar can always rise higher. A belief that if you set your sights to the horizon, the future will meet you there. That no matter who you are or what you've done, there's always something to prove. Disc golf was built on the backs of people who dream. And out here, what started as a dream is now a decade-long catalyst that turns dreams to moments. In our 10th season, we invite you to join us as we celebrate this beautiful game and all the moments that make it great. Catch all the action, all season long, live on the Disc Golf Network.
Hole 13, a par 3. We just saw Silva sneak in a hyzer right around that large tree. You got to throw over the chasm here, over the fence and around the trees. I like a hyzer. It's so easy to push it a little bit too straight, and there is an out-of-bounds golf green over there, or to hyzer in just a little bit too much and get caught up in a somewhat protected green on the short left side. You definitely, want to throw a hyzer, but you need a big skip generally to get there. Here's Holyn with that pizza raptor she's been throwing all day. That is what I will be calling it from now on.
That dinosaur is not hungry. Lots of birdies already. Sorry, Sunday night.
Sunday night. And that looks great as well from Kristin. She is going Grand Glory slightly closer. And this is the kind of pushing it just a little bit too wide play, leaving a circle 2 look that you see all of the dang time. It's so easy to do.
Yeah, really trying to avoid those tree branches. They can kick you backwards and out of bounds. I like this low play from Valerie.
Just park it. Just give her, come on.
Come on.
That's great. ESP Onyx.
This played as the easiest hole today. We forgot to play our game. 60% of the field with a birdie. Catrina going to be one of them from circle 2.
Great conversion.
No OB strokes on this one. Holyn going to add another birdie to her round as well.
Man, she hasn't had a par in 9 holes. Crazy. Kristin, short putt, but into a headwind. Left to right. No problem.
Valerie with a birdie. She did it.
Woo!
She's back. No movement for the leaders on hole 13. 2 great birdies from Holyn and Kristin Lott. Still a battle for that 3rd place position. Ohn and Silva within 1 stroke and only 4 back from Kristin. Here is hole 14. This is one that can spiral quickly. That out of bounds line on the left side comes up so fast if you opt for this left side forehand gap. I think most FPO players though are going for the right gap with either a flex forehand or a backhand. You want to be pushed as far as you can on the right side of the fairway, opening up this second shot to a basket perched on a little ant mound. There is no out of bounds behind the basket. You can come in hot if you want, but this is a green where putts can stack up. We've seen a couple rollaways already this weekend.
I think this is one where we used to see more ladies going left side aggressive, and then everyone switched realizing too risky.
Yeah, everyone wised up.
Always kind of fun to see how the play of a stable hole that has stayed the same for multiple years can change.
Yep, as everyone gets better so rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Holyn hitting a tree in the middle a little bit early, but with a very friendly kick.
Don't often see this sidearm, but it's a great play to fade away from the out of bounds. Still a little bit risky, but tends to
no.
kick right instead of left. So inbounds.
Yeah, inbound, but Kristin not going to have a way to attack for birdie. She's going to play for par at best there.
I didn't realize this one averaged so high over par.
Yeah, it played as the second most difficult hole of the day. I also am surprised by that. Only averaged about a third of a stroke over par, but just not a whole lot of birdies combined with a good amount of double bogeys.
Yeah. And you can see why if you hit early, like, I mean, essentially the entire lead card did, where are you supposed to go?
Yeah, I think it's this whole, what's important is just about taking your medicine. Kristin kind of taking
What
her
medicine?
Yeah, that was like kind of an aggressive play.
She's taking a protein shake.
Yes, she is. And what a great second shot, setting herself up for being able to go for the green to save that par. Valerie's second shot, it's still fine.
It is still fine, but it was almost great.
It was almost perfect.
Holyn in a little bit better position here. Looks like she has a gap and is thinking about a birdie.
Oh.
Now she's thinking about a par. Catrina also lined up pretty well. This can be a bit of a tricky shot. Because of that tree, man, I was staring. I swear the camera was focused in a way where I was looking at that tree the whole time. Kristin's third.
Yeah, it says 10 competitors got to circle 2 in regulation. This is a scary putt to run. Kristin with an opportunity to save the par on this, and unfortunately a little bit of a grip lock. She's going to have to settle for bogey at best.
Wow, Valerie going flex inside of the tree and then letting it fade. Masterful shot.
Just perched on top of the hill.
Gorgeous speed control.
Got a little birdie fuel on the last hole.
Holyn's third. Looking to take another one on Kristin here. Pulls it.
Yeah, that's a little longer of a putt than you want on this ant mound, but Holyn, I think, is feeling pretty comfy on the green this weekend.
Yeah, no kidding. Feels like she hasn't missed. Kristin going trusty harp sidearm. A good choice to land softly on this hill and minimize the rolls. Well done.
Yeah, textbook. There were 5 birdies on this hole this weekend, so not an easy one here. Catrina coming in hot on her third. She's going to have some work left to do for her par. All right, this is big for Holyn and adding another stroke.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, in the roll. Wow.
Looks beautiful on
It
camera.
does look beautiful. I mean, the roll sucks, but nice pattern on that disc.
Oh, man.
And, yep, that's why
Oh, man.
this can just be such a difficult hole.
She's obstructed, too.
Yep. Now for bogey from outside the circle.
Oh.
Okay. Not what we thought we'd see.
Checks up nicely, thankfully.
Catrina outside the circle, very obstructed, looking for a par.
Oh,
Nice.
What a putt.
Look at the last 6 holes from Catrina. She was in a tie for 10th, now moving back up the leaderboard, looking for a top 5 finish.
I love those putts where you just feel so focused.
Yeah, those are my favorite when it's like, no one expects me to make this. Let me give them a show.
And Holyn shakes her head, double bogey. No one saw that coming with how good her drive ended up. Kristin gaining a stroke on this one.
Yeah, definitely thought
you
it was going
couldn't
to be
even-
the other way around.
No, you couldn't see that coming from halfway down the fairway.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Valerie with a lovely par save. Also cleaning up the last 5 or so holes really nicely. So difficult to stay in the fight after taking a couple big numbers too. It's always impressive to watch. Deanne Carey and Owen Scoggins both at 6 down.
Wow.
Yeah. Hole 15, a par 3, 345 feet. Not necessarily difficult because of the way the hole is set up, but it's often a right to left crosswind, and you need your disc to turn from left to right, so it can be tough to battle the wind. Also, this green tends to be quite windy and also on a hill, so you see some rollaways. There is OB deep and left that you can find, and the way this gap is set up off the tee, the trees are in your head enough that you maybe don't turn it as much as you want to get there. Catrina doing a great job, but you can see the wind just slam it down. Still a great shot.
Yeah, look at that ground play. This is definitely, I think, the most difficult par 3 on the course. Even with that really difficult wooded par 3, this one, I think, takes the cake.
Wow. Give me some of that cake. That was fantastic. I gotta know what that was. Valerie throwing a Z Avenger SS, getting it to flip in the wind.
This is the most difficult as far as reachability for the birdie.
Yeah. And if it was calm, that would be a different story.
True.
But it never is.
No.
Love the forehand in this wind.
Kristin showing us why she is one of the best.
Orbit drive.
As we talk about how hard it is.
Holyn going ESP force, trying to match Kristin's drive. And good power, just needs a big skip.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
not that big.
Wow, she comes in hot. She is on the edge of circle 1, and we love an uphill putt. But in this wind, it is going to be a little bit scary.
This is the only time I'm going to say you love an uphill putt. I like a downhill putt myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
risky?
Easier. You have to put as much on it. Can't roll back at you.
I can go away.
Nah, not mine. Here we go. Anyway, Holyn, left to right wind, uphill. Misses left.
One of the more timid putts we've seen from Holyn today, and that's understandable. Look, you can probably just hear the wind coming through the trees.
And if you can't, Madison, why don't you show them what it's like? There it is. Exact replication.
Shout out to my editors for listening to that.
Holyn in for par. Kristin gonna take another stroke, bringing it to within 2.
Kristin, one of only 3 birdies on this hole today. Raven Klein and Silva Saarinen also got it.
Nice.
And what a flex that is. I mean, only 3 birdies, and Kristin's gaining a stroke on that hole out of all of them. And if we have crazy wind on hole 15, we know we're going to have crazy wind as well on hole 16, kind of in the same area of the course. Here's hole 16. It's 310 feet. We're basically going the opposite direction of hole 15. So we will have a pretty ripping tailwind, making this hole very difficult for the backhand dominant player. That out of bounds line all the way down the left-hand side is definitely in your head. There's also these hazard bunkers sprinkled around the green. If you have a big power forehand like Kristin and Holyn, though, this hole definitely is a little bit simpler.
Yeah, I like the forehand because it tends to come in on a sharper angle and not find the bunkers as easily as the backhand, and just generally push the out of bounds less. But it's a pump of a forehand.
It sure is. And the wind messing with Kristin's disc. Super gusty.
Oh, man, I just said that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to gauge around this corner. You can't feel the wind at the tee pad. Look, you can see Catrina's little hair ribbon is not blowing at all. But the second you get out right here, the wind just takes control.
Yeah, those flags showing you. Ah, robbed. That was a beautiful backhand.
Yeah, really great control. Let's see if Valerie can make the backhand work. Looks like she's picked up something a little slower.
That looks great. Oh, man, they do look great, and then that happens. That was a Z glide, and it glided right into the bunker.
It sure did. Let's see if Holyn can make the correction here on the forehand and read this wind.
Yep, going nice, stable Z force. Wow, puts it up super high.
Really nice spike hyzer.
Yeah, I feel like if the wind wasn't a tail like that, that would have normally carried farther outside the circle. What a shot.
This forehand spike hyzer is not a tool we've been seeing in FPO at all until the last year or so.
True.
We see Holyn throwing it more and more often.
Catrina with a nice run at it. Kristin from circle's edge from the hazard, putting for par.
And this is a really important putt for Kristin.
It's like a right to left wind largely, maybe a bit of a tail.
Oh my goodness.
This is low. Man, strokes are just swinging all over the place out here. Valerie also an inch too low. Holyn.
Not an easy putt here.
No, she's facing mostly a headwind from this direction. And she looks a little nervous.
Big opportunity for a two-stroke swing there. But a more favorable win on this comeback putt. Ooh, I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, I'm tense in the booth here.
Oh.
2 tense geese. Catrina's staying hydrated out there.
There were only 3 birdies on 16 today. That is wild. One that we normally do see more birdies on. Paige Pierce, Sarah Hokum, and Ella Hansen getting this one. Shout out. And the final stretch of this course is very difficult. Hole 17 and 18 both have woods to contend with. Let's watch Own on 18.
This is a very common mistake, overturning it, and she does stay in bounds. It can be tricky from that right side. Most likely going to result in a par, but it's possible to get there with an unbelievable shot. Yeah, an own shot.
That is an own shot.
If I ever saw one. No way. Gonna find the bullseye almost.
That's a line that not many players are throwing.
Unreal.
Wow.
What a clean round from Own. Is this to go 7 down?
What a finish.
Wow. And at this moment, that looks like it's going to secure her solo third. Back to the lead card action. Another stroke swing. 3 to go, 2 holes to play. Own in the clubhouse with the hot round at 7 down. Hole 17, a par 4. It's only 500 feet, but lots of difficulty. Mandatory tree on the right. The biggest problem is the OB line on the left. If you throw a backhand shot and maybe get an unfortunate kick, you can find it so quickly. I like a forehand or a backhand turnover. Second shot, there's not a single gap any of us are necessarily aiming for or trying to hit. It's just pick the biggest one from wherever you land up to an exposed green and an elevated pin that can make for some difficult putting. We didn't see a ton of birdies, I believe, yesterday.
No, I think this wind is going to be a little friendlier for it today.
Yeah, it's true. Mostly tail, same direction as the hole we just played. The nice thing about this hole is if you get a really big tee shot, it's not that difficult. It's only if you take some off.
Yeah, we did not see many birdies on this one yesterday, but the course is telling a different story today. Almost half the field birding.
Wow.
Incredible.
Right. Love to see it. Some great tee shots so far. This looks good. Ooh, looks really good from Kristin. And these are all far enough where they should be able to attack for birdie. Keep turning. Yeah.
Catching those 2 trees is horrible.
Yeah, sure is. I think everyone in the field can say that from experience.
Yes, absolutely.
And here's what I was talking about. Not great gaps. That's this is probably the most common one that Valerie's taking.
Yeah, I was convinced before now that landing on the right side of the fairway is better, but that left side is a nice little hyzer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to land exactly where you want to, though, to pick
Definitely.
the perfect gap.
Especially
like, look
'cause
at
you-
this. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, especially because you can really open up on this hole and throw a distance driver. So it's hard to really control exactly where you're going to land in these wooded fairways. Kristin finds a gap, though, slides one up onto the green for birdie.
I think she made that gap. Beautiful turnover shot.
See what Holyn has to work with.
She has to work with Holyn.
Most importantly.
Oh, she's got a good gap. Although that's very inside. Looks like the nerves are getting to her a bit. Some unforced errors. Man, what a great drive from Catrina. I mean, she
Yeah.
would be putting on the MPO basket, circle 2.
Yeah, and unfortunately just not one great gap. She does manage to find the circle, but a little farther than you want after such an amazing drive.
Yeah, she was kind of not rewarded for her last 2 phenomenal drives. Holyn just going to lay this up for par. Catrina just inside the circle for a birdie.
Love that she's running for this.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Yes!
Fantastic.
Catrina heating up on the back 9, converting birdies in some very difficult win situations.
Kristin to bring it back to 2 strokes with 1 hole to go.
That's crazy with 18 left.
Yep. You know what would be wild? Has anyone ever taken an 11 and 1? Right?
That's a
Fun thought experiment.
that is a stat that we do not have. But I'm going to say no.
I'm going to guess no for sure. Kristin trying to do just that. Only 2 strokes separating. Lots of danger on the 18th.
And here it is, the final hole of the Open at Austin. This par 4 is absolutely brutal. If you have a forehand, I think it makes the first part of this fairway a lot easier, although you do have to make sure you come in soft because that OB line on the right side does come into play. If you throw the backhand, you got to make sure you get past the little OB line grouping of trees. And after that, it's all about just where you land, how you want to navigate to this green. We see Owen making it work all the way from the right side OB line. Birdie's going to be huge here right now. Both Kristin and Holyn have the shots you need to get this birdie.
But Kristin looking more confident and settled. Holyn with some unforced errors, looking a bit shaky. Woo! Catrina up first after that great birdie. And that is a nice smooth shot. Not trying to do too much, but still in position to birdie. I love that.
And perfectly past that last tree you have to get by.
Kristin up first. Looks like her. Oh, she's going aggressive here. Orbit Grace. Wow, big shot.
Huge shot. Knows she needs the birdie in this situation, so why not? And
Yeah, usually you see more fairway drivers. That's really cool. Valerie with a similar to shot that we saw Owen throw, working out to the right. Kind of the safer mistake. Can y'all hear that thunder?
yeah, the thunder rolls.
Just in time for Holyn's shot. Big moment. Pulls it out to the right, gets through all the trees though, and will have a chance to birdie.
The most important thing for Holyn to do was keep it in bounds, and she did just that.
And this is where Owen birdied from, and it looks even harder now. Valerie gonna work a backhand turnover. That's beautiful.
Get out of here.
Yeah, right?
Beautiful.
But she's gonna land. Is she in the circle?
I think she's
In
right
circle
outside.
too? Yeah. Just showing how amazing it is that Owen parked it from there.
Holyn.
Better angle.
Moving some of these branches out of the way, and she does have a nice little forehand set up to the green.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
And
Not in a good place.
Look how many trees are in her way. Oh, boy. Catrina, too hyzered out of her hand and the bad kick. Although they pulled that OB line a little over to the left, so she's inbounds. Kristin looking to put this close, put all of the pressure on Holyn.
Oh,
I thought
my
it was
gosh.
good. In circle 2. Tricky little forehand gap here for Holyn.
She has the initial gap. I can't quite tell if she's got... Yeah, she's got a secondary gap as well. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Great shot to find the circle from there.
Yeah, she'll be on the green. Still a little work left. Oh, man, Catrina deep in the woods, just trying to get...
Oh, man. Tough to get out of there at all.
All right.
Kristin, is she even in? She is deep in circle 2?
Yeah. Further away than I thought.
Very far, with one
Man.
tree right in her way.
God, the fact that it came down to an approach shot is wild.
Uh-huh. I mean, she could still make this. It's just a very tall order. Especially with that one tree right in the way. Looks like she's going hyzer. Oh my
gosh.
What a run.
Oh,
That
my
is
gosh.
insane.
The absolute battling Kristin has done this week. Working her way up the leaderboard after taking 2 big numbers over at Sprinkle Valley. Holyn knows all she needs is a bogey here.
A big relief.
Yeah, and what a week.
Thank you. Thank you, she says.
No, I mean, talk about a finishing round. That was, I can't imagine
Insane.
having to perform through that as well. One of the best finishes we've had.
And the real story is that she shot 8 down with 9 birdies in a row last round to put herself in position to take down this victory. Your Open at Austin champion, Holyn Handley.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulations for your 2025 MVPs, the Open at Austin, presented by Flight Factory to Holyn Handley.
You just took down the Open at Austin, the first Elite Series event of the year. How are you feeling?
It feels good. It feels really good, especially to win in my home state. I've wanted to win in Texas so bad, which I think almost wanting it too bad made it hard in the last couple years, but it feels good to make it across the finish line there. I think a year ago, me probably would have crumbled in the woods there and wanted to give up on it, but it was just no question that I was going to keep fighting. So, you know, I'm still feel a lot of feelings out there, but I think I'm learning how to deal with them a little better. I gotta thank Tyler. He kept me sane today. He was making such good calls yesterday, and I mean, I was a little psychotic in the woods the first couple rounds and really needed him to help calm me down, so I gotta shout him out. He had the brain cells this week for sure.
Holyn Handley, everybody.
And what a showing all week long from Holyn Handley. Some of the fiercest putting we've seen on the Pro Tour this year.
And fitting that a Texan gets to wear the hat.
Yes, it fit perfectly. Big congratulations to Holyn Handley for keeping it together down the stretch. And big congratulations to Kristin Lott for what a battle.
Yeah, and Owens Coggins for the hot round and solo third. Pretty crazy weekend, all in all.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us for our first 4-round event of the year. This is only the third event. We've got many more.
Got an off week, and then the next one will be Music City Open in Nashville.
Yeah. Before we go, please go check out our YouTube channel. We're so close to 500,000 followers. So close. We need your help. So please go like, subscribe, all the stuff you do on the YouTubes.
Yes, love the YouTubes.
And let's wrap this thing up. Congrats to Holyn Handley. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
Watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it truly I feel fine. Get up, watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it truly I feel fine.